Hey guys, Wayne here. Welcome back to another live show from Wayne's Country Living. We'll get some people logged in here and I'll explain to you guys why I wasn't here last week. Let's see who we've got on right now. Sugar Run, Teresa Dean, Amy Davis. Davis is a very good name, and I'll actually explain to you why later on. Bobby, Mud Pie Girl. So how's everybody doing? Ed Turner, Doc D225, Hilltown. Have you guys are you guys able to see and hear me okay? Hey Palmetto. Teresa Dean, howdy Wayne, did you get hurt last week? I did, and I'll explain that to you as soon as we get some more people. It looks like my count we've got 15 people. We'll let that build up a little bit, then I'll explain it to you. Coming through great, clear as a bell, good. So I guess by my count I still have 16. So that's okay. I'll go ahead and tell you guys why I wasn't here last week. I went squirrel hunting, and you guys may have seen that video where I went squirrel hunting. The thing about squirrel hunting here is we're hunting on steep hills. Sometimes we go up these really steep hills and we get onto level ground, which is great. Where I was hunting is just one big steep hill, and which is great because I love it. But the thing is, coming back down, and there's dry leaves all over the ground, and so those leaves are covering up all kinds of things, limbs, trees, holes, all that kinds of stuff. So I was coming back down and I lost my footing, which happens in the hills, and I fell on my back, and then my back hurt, which is no surprise. I mean, if you know me, my back always hurts. My back has been hurting for probably close to a year now. I had the bursitis underneath my shoulder blades, and that still flares up every so often. But this was underneath or down below my lower back. And I just did not feel like sitting up like I am now. I wanted to lay down. I was hurting really bad. So I told somebody who shall remain anonymous, and the first thing they did was laugh, because it's always funny when somebody falls down. The only problem with that is I was not in the mood to make fun of myself. Normally, that's fine. I don't care. But I was just in a lot of pain, and I wasn't in the mood. But it's part of where we live, me especially, because I've always been kind of clumsy, but it's part of where we live. You know, you're in these hills, and you're either trekking straight up or straight down, and you lose your footing. And I've lost my footing in these hills more times than I can count. I can't tell you how many times I've fallen down. And if any of you are subscribers and viewers to Janel's channel, he's got video evidence that he falls down a lot. And it's just part of it. I mean, I told Janel when I told him about it, I said, if you're not falling, you're not hunting, because it's just part of it. And they said, well, you know, you're holding a 12 gauge shotgun, you don't want to blow your head off. But since we know that we are going to fall, it's inevitable that you are going to fall. I hold my gun in a way that when I do fall, and notice I said when I do fall, it's not going to go off. If it does go off, it's not going to shoot me. I hold it across my arm, straight out, pointed up when I'm in the hills, when there's nobody around. And I've got it where I'm walking, and let's say I lose my footing, I just grab a hold of it and I hold it up against me. That way the barrel stays away from my head, it stays away from any part of my body, and people will say, some people have told me that's wrong. You don't carry your gun like that. It works for me because in these hills, one step is all it takes and you're down. And I don't want to be juggling a 12 gauge shotgun as I'm falling. So I kind of cradle it up against me and I hold it. And there is no bracing. When you fall, you fall. There's no putting your hands down. You just kind of hit the ground. And that's just part of it. And if it does go off by some chance, the worst thing you might have is, burns on your arms or something like that from the discharge. So in that case, I'd rather have to treat a few burns than I would to, have the side of my face missing. But that's where I was last week. I fell and my back was hurting, so I just did not feel like sitting up. I wanted to lay down. And as soon as I got home, I laid down. And that's where I sat. That's where I sat the rest of the night until I went to bed. So that's just part of it, man. I'm telling you, it's if you're not falling, you're not hunting. Now, I move around a little bit more when I'm squirrel hunting. More than I do if I'm deer hunting. I usually go to a certain spot and I sit. That's usually what I do. If I'm squirrel hunting, I kind of move around a little bit. So I'm more apt to fall when I'm squirrel hunting. But you guys see my videos. You know how much I love to video scenery and views and stuff like that. So when I'm hunting, squirrel hunting, and I'm up on these steep hills, I can get you guys some really good shots of the views across the Ohio Valley. And I love doing that just as much as I do getting me some squirrels. So that's where I was, and I can laugh about it now. Amy Davis, I often wonder if squirrel hunting is worth the effort for such a small animal. Squirrel hunting depends on what part of the region you're from, because in my region, yes, it is. It's just as much the same as a food source as rabbit, as dove, as chickens. It's all part of a food source. It's all part of our living. It's our grocery store. So we have a squirrel season. So when squirrel season comes in, deer season isn't quite in yet. Bow season might be in, but I don't do a whole lot of bow hunting. So we stock up on squirrel, and squirrel is an excellent meal. I had squirrel dumplings just the other night, and they were fantastic. Squirrel gravy is absolutely insane how good that is. It is just another way of us stocking our freezer. And then gun season's rolling in next week. So, as a matter of fact, I've already got a deer in the freezer. My boss from work actually bow hunts. He showed up one Saturday morning and said, "Hey, you want this deer?" And I said, "Absolutely." And I took it out to Grandma's. And actually, me and Grandma, who is 82 years old, me and Grandma cleaned that deer, spent all day cleaning it, got it packaged, got it trimmed, got it in the freezer. And that was fantastic. That is perfect. I've never had it. I've been afraid to try it. The way I try to explain people about being afraid to try something. They get this, they get this story made up in their head that because it's a wild animal or because it looks like another wild animal, that you shouldn't eat it. Like squirrels, my best friend's dad always says they're just rats with bushy tails. And, well, that might be true. They might be tree rats or whatever anybody wants to call them. But in my opinion, is the kind of crap that rats eat compared to what squirrels eat. To me, it's completely different. A squirrel's diet and a rat's diet is completely different. So the thing about it is, you go to like California and places like that where they're heavily populated, where there's a lot of human population. And yeah, squirrels are going to get, pick stuff off the ground and eat it. And I've even heard tell of squirrels having the plague in certain areas. But here, here they eat hickory nuts, acorns, they eat walnuts. It's all foraged. And I've never heard of a squirrel around here having any kind of disease. I've been hunting squirrels since I was a teenager, and I've never heard of any kind of squirrel having any kind of disease around here where I'm at. I don't know of any animal really that has had a disease that we should have stayed away from since I've been hunting. Most fear is based on ignorance. Yeah, and ignorant is just a word of the unknown, not knowing. So yeah, I mean, most fear is based on you don't know. Here's the worst thing that could happen. If you've never tried squirrel, rabbit, dove, whatever, here's the worst thing that could happen. You don't like it. Get out of your mind what it looks like. Get out of your mind what it looks like when you cook it. Get out of your mind all of that and just taste it. Worst thing in the world, you don't like it. No harm, no foul. Then you know. I don't know what it is about squirrel hunting this year. Here where we're at, man, the squirrels have just been slim to none. Last week I got that one that I showed in my video, but I've seen 2 or 3, and I've seen about 4 of them running around there that I couldn't get close enough to. Run, Wayne, I hear sirens. Yeah, I've got a firehouse less than a mile down the road. You'll hear sirens going down the road all the time. And another thing I wanted to mention, all the food we eat, buy it from the grocery store. All the food we eat, whether it be cow, chicken, pig, whatever, you had to try it at least once. Somebody had to try that food at least once. You were probably eating it just like I was since I was a kid, since I was old enough to chew and swallow solid foods. So you're basically indoctrinated as a kid to only like certain animals. It's okay to like cow and chickens and pigs, but it's not okay to like squirrel, rabbit, and deer because it's not readily available in the grocery store. So we're indoctrinated to think that the foods in the grocery store are the ones that are actually the best for us. However, you go out and you shoot a squirrel, you could shoot you a mess of squirrels. Let's just say 6 because that's the limit in Ohio. You go out, shoot 6 squirrel, you can have them cleaned, you can have them cooked and eaten within a few hours, and not once were they ever frozen. You can't get any healthier than that. Same with a deer. Yeah, I've got frozen deer, but I've got red meat from my area that I know how it was cleaned because me and Grandma's the one that cleaned it. Also, rabbit, white meat, excellent, very excellent meat. Comes right out here from my rabbit hutch. I know what it's been fed. I know how it's treated. I know what it's eaten. Chickens, same thing. I know about them. They're healthy. So, to me, it's all in the mind, and it's all how people perceive things. I'm sure there was somebody at one time in history that goes, "Ew, a cow! I'm not going to eat that. That's gross." Ew, a chicken. I'm not going to eat that. That's gross. And the way that I see it is just try it. Just take a bite of it. Find something that, well, find somebody that knows how to cook it and then take a bite of it. Because if it's not cooked right, then yeah, you're going to be turned off by it. And I always tell people, if you're going to feed them to your kids, cut them up first. Don't just put them in the oven to bake with their little legs sticking up like this with no head, because that's going to turn them away from it real fast. So, I mean, just at least cut them up first. Hey, Tommy. But that's my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't think my opinion is the Bible or anything, but that's just my opinion. It's the worst thing in the world is it tastes bad. It's, to me, I'll eat almost anything. I will not eat a possum because I know what they eat. I will not eat crow unless we're speaking about metaphors. And I will not eat buzzards or anything like that. I have to know what the animal eats. Deer, I know what they eat. Rabbit, I know what they eat. Chickens will eat anything. They will eat anything. But my chickens are pinned up and they can eat bugs. If bugs get inside the run, and they eat the chicken food, the organic chicken food that I feed them. So how many people we got on now? Let's see here. 43 people. Awesome. I also went squirrel hunting today. I'm going to be posting that video soon. I haven't even come close to getting it edited yet. I didn't get anything today, but I was able to get some more scenic views for you guys, so I wanted to put that up too. So, I've got a list of things here that I wanted to bring up. One of them is, there's been some confusion about my name. When I first started YouTube, I wanted a different name than my real name. And that is because, no offense to all of you people out there, but there are some crazy people on the internet. All my viewers have been great. I very rarely have anything negative ever pop up. But when I first started it, I just wanted to separate myself from the internet. I wanted to kind of have a stage name and go from there. And I also wanted to separate myself from my employer because I was going to be doing a lot of propane stuff, and I didn't want somebody trying to throw them into the mix, if they went out and did something that I told them not to do, and then they blew themselves up and tried to sue me, and in turn tried to sue the company or whatever. I don't know. You know how people are, and that's just the way my mind works. So Wayne was what I came up with, and the reason is Wayne is my middle name. So technically it is my real name, but I go by Nathan. To the general public, to the general, all of my family, I go by Nathan. The people that call me Wayne are you guys, of course. Jane All calls me Wayne, Uncle Buck, Brad from Big Family Homestead, of course, Brad from BC Truck. All the YouTubers that I know personally call me Wayne, even though they know my real name. And Wayne, I don't want to say that like that because Wayne is my real name. I mean, it's on my birth certificate. It's just stuck in the middle. And besides that, Wayne's Country Living sounds better than Nathan's Country Living. I think. It's just my opinion. But I'm not changing it. I'm not changing the channel. I'm not changing anything. I just wanted to let you guys know. Wayne is my middle name, and that's the reason I went with Wayne. Because a lot of people have asked me, you can't keep anything secret. I mean, not in this day and age. And there's been some people that found out my name was Nathan, and so they asked me about it. Well, why do you go by Wayne when your name's Nathan, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. So there was no conspiracy behind it. There was no intention of misleading anyone, except for the crazies. But I really just wanted to have that separation. But as things often happen, you get bigger on YouTube. People start watching you more, and then things get out, and that happens. So there you have it. That's my name. And the reason I said earlier that Davis, from Amy Davis, I've seen her on there before several times. Davis is my last name. There you have it. You look like a Wayne to me. Yep. Oh, John, come on now, John. You keep it up, Nathan Wayne, and you'll have to do a disclaimer with YouTube Canadian Prepper Nathan. Nathan Wayne is only used by my mother when I am in trouble. If I ever heard Nathan Wayne growing up, I knew to hide or run as fast as I could. Now I know we are related there, Wayne. Yeah, Teresa, I swear me and Teresa are somehow related. Teresa, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're down in Virginia, is that correct? Or is it West Virginia? Or Tennessee? Lord, I can't remember. I know you're down in Appalachia, and that's where most of my family was born and raised. I think my grandpa was born in West Virginia. My grandma was born in Kentucky, right down there in the heart of Hatfield and McCoy territory. The family migrated here to Ohio following my grandpa's job, I believe. He worked on the railroad. And most of his brothers and sister and most of my grandma's brothers and sisters moved up this way as well. Some didn't, but most of them did. You'll have to excuse me. I don't want to be rude, but I have got a guy out after hours. And I have to make sure he's taken care of. Whenever my guys are out, I always give them priority. They're out after hours in the dark with a 20-ton truck filled with propane. I want to make sure they know where they're going, where they're at when they get back. I want to make sure that when they leave, they text me. Sorry about that. I don't like doing that. That's rude, but this actually takes priority. Nothing is more important to me than the safety of my guys at work, other than, of course, the safety of my family. But I'm responsible for them. And when they're out after hours like that, I'm nervous because I don't want anything to happen to them. So I always tell them, if you get called out, I want to know. I want to know where you're going, why you're going there, and if they haven't texted me back by the time they got back to the parking lot and they're leaving, if they haven't texted me back within at least 2 hours, I'm finding out why. I always want to know when they're done and when they're on their way home. So I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, my family. Yeah, I mean, technically I'm not Southern. I'm country. I've told this before. I'm not from the South. I was born and raised in Southern Ohio. I'm not a Southerner. I'm country. And what country means different things to different people. Some people think it's living in a cabin in the hills and completely living off the land. To me, it's more of a mindset. It's more of a way of, I hate being in the city. I hate living in the city. I hate going into town. I just despise it. I honestly hate it. If there's anything in this world I hate, it is that. I don't feel comfortable there. I don't like it there. I'd much rather be in the hills. And you know what? This time of year, you hear gunfire going all around, and never am I ever scared. But if I go into town and I hear gunfire in town, it worries me. Guns should not be going off in this city. They even have a law against it. So, country to me is a mindset. And my family was, both my grandma and grandpa were born in the middle of the Great Depression. And the way they lived, what we call homesteading now, they lived that because they had to. That was the way to survive. That was the way that they were going to grow up and have generations of kids. So, what we call homesteading now that we're doing, trying to get back to that, they did that to live. That was the way they had to live. There was hardly any jobs, hardly any money. You had all these family members in a very small cabin. You lived off the land. You did anything and everything you could to survive and to prepare. And, you planted a garden so you could can for the wintertime. You stocked up on meat so you could have something for the wintertime. Basically, in the spring, you started preparing for that next winter to survive. It was their life. What did they do for a living? They lived for a living. And so what I'm getting at is all of that they did is what I was trying to learn. Because you never know when you might have to do that again. Plus, I enjoy it. I enjoy doing that stuff. Planting a garden, raising animals, going out and hunting. Do I enjoy the modern conveniences of our time? Of course I do. It'd be crazy not to. It's here. Right now I'm talking to 51 people, staring at a computer screen, talking to 51 people across the internet. Who knows how many hundreds of more people this is going to reach, maybe even thousands potentially, throughout the entire world by this modern day convenience. I love it. I love the internet. I love being able to research anything I can, anything that I need. You can find literally any answer to any question. Even if it's not real, you can still find an answer. I mean, you could make up a question that didn't exist, asking something about anything, and I'm sure there's an answer out there somewhere. So do I enjoy it? Yes, I love the modern conveniences, but I also love getting out and getting dirty and working with my hands and pulling my food off the hill and stuff like that. I love that stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that they brought with them when they came, to Ohio. They brought that with them, even though, we started getting modern day conveniences and Grandpa had a really good job and Grandma was able to save money and now she's able to live comfortable. But none of that would have existed had she been born into that era where everything was handed to you. When you have to scrimp and save for everything you've got, then what that does is teaches you to save money, to save food. Don't go out and spend unnecessarily. Everything that's left over from the end of your weekly paycheck, you put in the bank. And you do that for so long. And you build that up. And that's the way they think. That's their minds because they had to do that. And if we can get back to that, if I can, at least me, if I can get back to that, living my life like they did back then to a certain point, and then teaching my kids to do that, maybe I can reverse this commercialism and this monetary mindset, where it's where you get into this mindset of money is the most important thing. I can't do anything because I don't have any money. But my grandparents didn't have any money growing up, and they survived. They may not have had a computer or a car or a bicycle, whatever, but they're here. It was because of what they did to survive that I'm sitting right here talking to you. So, I don't know. I kind of went down a rabbit trail, didn't I? But that's all right. Let's move on. Basically, my point was, it'll be all right. You don't need money to be happy. As a matter of fact, in my experience, the more money I have, the less happy I am. Wayne, it's killing me. I got to know, how is the gas stove working out? Fantastic. Have absolutely no complaints at all. I actually bought an oven thermometer just to make sure the thermostat was working, everything was working properly, and have no complaints at all. Family is more important than anything. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Okay, so let's move on to my next topic. We talked about my name. Next week, there will be no live stream. I can't. I'm going to be way too busy. It's the day after it's 2 days after Thanksgiving. That's when my family and I are having our Thanksgiving supper. And I don't know about you all, but ours is an all-day event. I mean, it's an all-day, family reunion, basically. I haven't been able to show up to them for a while, and so I'm going to stay there and enjoy it without worrying about getting back to do my live stream. So I'm just going to cancel it. So next week I will not be here for my live stream. It's not that I don't want to, but I really want to be with my family that day. So I will not be here next Saturday. I'll try to make a video to remind you guys. If I knew how to play an old live stream back, like Nathan or Wayne's greatest hits or whatever, I would do that, but I'm not sure exactly how to do that, or if it can even be done. So there will be no live stream next week, but I will continue it the week after. New direction for my channel. So here's something that I plan on announcing in a video, but since you guys are here, I am going to, it's getting into pagan season, so I expect a lot of live stream cancellations until after January. Yeah, you call it what you will. To me, Christmas, Easter, all that, yeah, it may have been paganism or whatever. To me, it's all about family. I spend it with my family. Christmas has become so materialistic that I always end up just hating the time of year, because I feel like I never have enough money, and that's what they instill in you, what I was talking before. You never have enough money to buy presents, you never have enough this or that or whatever. And to me, it's just gotten so commercialized that they've taken everything out of it. To me, Christmas obviously is about Christ, and whether or not he was born on December 25th is irrelevant. People put too much stock into the actual literal day. What difference does it make? We may not know what day he was born on, or what month, or whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we take time to sit down with our family and discuss and learn and teach the birth of Christ. It has nothing to do with the actual day. It doesn't make a difference. And I hear this so often, especially you hear it on the internet and everything else. It's like, well, he wasn't even born on December 25th. They're believing a lie. What are you talking about? It does not matter. It makes no difference when he was born. It only matters that he was born and that we celebrate that. I don't care if we celebrate it June 1st. What difference does it make? Sit down with your family. Pull out a Bible. Read the book of Luke and let's talk about Jesus Christ being born. It doesn't matter. I just think that people if you're going to sit there and argue about a day, December 25th, if you're going to sit there and argue about that, you've completely missed the point. But that's just my opinion. I'm just saying, that's my rant, but that's just my opinion. People say, well, it's not even Jesus' birthday because Jesus wasn't born in the winter. What difference does it make? I don't care. Yeah, would I like to know what his actual day of birth would be? Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be great. But do I care right now? Because I'll probably never ever find that out. So what difference does it make? Happy holidays, because we want to take the Christ out of Christmas because it offends people. Yeah, well, people get offended nowadays if you look at them funny. I mean, just look at what happened after the election. Was I happy Donald Trump won? All I know is I was glad she didn't get it, and he was not my next choice. And besides that, what difference at this point does it make? I mean, things don't ever seem to change. Everybody was happy when Bush got elected. Then everybody was happy when Obama got elected. Now everybody's happy that Trump got elected. I'm glad she didn't get it because I didn't trust her. But then again, I don't know how much I trust him either. He wasn't my first choice. But what I'm saying is, if she would have won, the last place you would have seen me is in the middle of the street holding a sign saying Hillary is not my president. You know why? Because I have a job, I have a family, I have responsibilities. And I don't get out in the middle of the street and cry like a little crying baby because I don't get my way. It's called being an adult. Suck it up, Buttercup. You don't always get what you want. That's called life. That's just, I don't know. But anyway, I went down another rabbit trail. So my point was, to me, it's not about so much the day. It's about being with my family. The holidays, Christmas, New Year, Easter, Thanksgiving, wherever it originated from, wherever it came from, it doesn't matter. Make it your own. As long as you put him first, your family second, and yourself last, I don't see the problem. Wayne for president. Yeah. I could see that now. Chickens and rabbits at the White House. And the garden that Michelle Obama has, that's not a garden. I would show them what a garden. I'd turn the south lawn into the biggest garden you ever seen. And to be honest with you, I don't see why they couldn't do that. Why couldn't they grow organic food at the White House in the south lawn? Imagine how many shelters around that area could use that kind of food. I ain't got a dog in the election. I didn't vote. I don't care. To be honest with you, I don't care if you guys voted for Hillary. I don't care if you voted for Trump. The thing about it is, or I don't care if you didn't vote at all. Here's why. You have the right to vote. You have the right to choose not to vote. You have the right to vote for whoever you want. I have the right to vote for whoever I want. I don't have the right to pull you out of a car and beat the crap out of you because you didn't vote for my guy. And whoever you voted for, we can still be friends. Makes no difference to me. When you start alienating people because they don't agree with you, yeah, you might not be best friends. You might not have the most in common. I'll give you an example. I have a very good friend who is pretty much the opposite of everything that I am. Politics, the way he lives, when it comes to money, beliefs, everything. Probably everything the complete opposite. And you know what? We sit on the porch, we talk, we have a good time, we laugh because we can't let stuff like that come between us. Stuff like that is what causes wars. Stuff like that is what causes feuds like the Hatfield and McCoys. Stuff like that is what causes people to think their opinions and their beliefs are higher than other people's. And more often than not, people end up dead. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of preachy tonight. I don't know why. I don't normally get like this. But a little disclaimer, everything you hear me saying is only my opinion, and I don't expect anybody to go off and believe it. As a matter of fact, I expect you all to disagree with me, because that's the great thing about being not only an American, but being a person. You have the right to disagree with me, and you know what? We can still be friends. When I say something and you say, I don't believe that, I'll say, okay. So, how about them chickens? All right, so on my sheet, I have my husband voted different than me, and we're still married. I should hope so, because if you're going to get tore up about or split up over an election, I don't know. I don't agree about several things with most of you guys, but I still love you. That's great. And you know what? You don't have to agree with us, man. You have your way of thinking. I have my way. Janal has his way. I don't agree with everything Janal says. But me and him are like best friends, man. I'm telling you, we don't have to completely agree on everything. It's the differences that makes us who we are. I don't want, somebody exactly like me to be my best friend, because that'd be weird. But it's okay to have somebody that disagrees with you on certain things and still be friends. I don't know. Maybe I think differently. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Guess what? I'm wrong a lot. I know you can't tell that by looking at me, but I am. So maybe I'm wrong. But if I am, guess what? We can still be friends. Okay. So, it's 7:45. I want to talk about my channel. I want to talk about some of my plans. I'm not going to change the content. I'm going to change certain things. I am going to start trying to build up my production equipment to where I can produce better videos for you guys. Here's the reason why. And this is what I'm talking about differences. Janal Zero is your basic cut and dry homestead guy. He is what I call a simple man, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as a matter of fact, I mean that as praise. He is your cut and dry homestead guy. He's as simple as they come, and guess what? He's extremely popular because he's real. Everything you see in his videos is how he is. And he doesn't have any editing equipment. He has a video camera that he points and shoots, and he doesn't edit. And that works for him, and that's great. That's his style. That's the way he goes. I being of a little bit younger generation, he's not that much older than me, but being of a slightly younger generation, I want to give you guys the best that I can offer. He gives you the best that he can offer, and I want to give you the best that I can offer. I have certain knowledge on editing. I have certain knowledge on different things. So I'm going to start investing into my channel. You can see that I've already started doing certain things with merchandise, which we're going to talk about here in a few minutes if I have time. But I want to say that I'm going to start investing. So as I invest in my channel, I also invest in you guys, because I want to give you the best that I can. Now, it may not be the best quality when you're talking about these huge YouTube stars. But I still want to give you the best. So little by little, it's going to take a while. I'm going to start buying different equipment, such as GoPro cameras. I don't have a lot of money, so you guys have to bear with me. But I'm going to buy GoPro cameras that whenever I get the ability, I can put the GoPro on the barrel of my shotgun, and you guys can get a point of view angle instead of me turning the camera off, shooting the squirrel or the deer or the rabbit or whatever, and then turning the camera back on. You can actually get the shot from the GoPro. I think that would be great. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be taking you on different adventures, especially when it gets warm. There is a river in Ohio that shoots basically right down the middle. It's called the Scioto River. It goes, well, what I'm going to do is from Columbus, Ohio, the capital of Ohio, I'm going to take somebody up there. I'm going to have somebody drop me off, and I am going to buy a kayak, and I plan on kayaking from Columbus, Ohio, all the way down to where I live in Portsmouth, which comes out into the Ohio River. I have always wanted to do that. The Scioto River does not have a lot of boat traffic. If it does, it's canoes, john boats, kayaks, stuff like that. It might be better to have the camera on your hat, not your shotgun. Well, yeah, I mean, that was just an example, Teresa. It's whatever looks better. I put one on my hat, on my chest, on my shotgun. I plan on having several GoPros going all at once. And then what I'll do is bring them in and edit them. But I'm going to be going down the Scioto River, but I want to have some GoPros on that so you can get different angles as me kayaking through there. Fishing, sleeping out at night on the bank. That's the kind of stuff that I want to do. I think that would be. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to do that anyway. So now I'm going to take some cameras with me and show you guys. Boy, that sounds like fun. How many miles would that be? It's 100 miles from Portsmouth to Columbus. It's probably a little bit more because the river isn't a straight shot. It does. If you get on Google Maps and look at the river from Google Maps, it's constantly snaking. There's 3 or 4 different horseshoe bends in it. I've been in one of those little single prop job planes, one of them little Cessnas, and we flew over it, and you can see it just kind of snakes down through the valley, and it's. But I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, so it's 7:50 merchandise. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Now here's how the giveaway is going to work, and I'm going to be making a video about this week so everybody can get in on it. I am going to be doing a giveaway when I reach 2,000 subscribers. So when I reach 2,000 subscribers, that's when the giveaway will start. So if you guys want to hurry it up to get to 2,000, you can start sharing videos. Sharing the Facebook page, which is down below. You can share all that. If not, that's fine. Hey, don't worry, that's cool. But what I'm going to do is, as soon as that hits, I don't know when it'll be, but as soon as I get to 2,000 subscribers, that's when the giveaway is going to start. I'm going to be giving away some merchandise and something else that I will reveal once the giveaway starts. So, there's that. Also, for those of you who are not aware, I have a brother that lives in Hollywood. He is an actor. He has been on um, several shows. I mean, he's constantly working, but um, I don't think he's been in a movie yet, but he's been on a lot of TV shows. Anyway, he actually has his own production company, albeit it's small, but he still has it. So he is actually helping me um, make a channel trailer, a new intro for my videos, and then I'm going to have an outro for my videos as well. So that's in the works right now. I'm going to throw that on, eventually that new channel trailer is going to be public. I haven't seen any of it yet. I've given him some ideas of what I want. It is still going to have the same song that is playing on that now, except I'm hoping to get the entire song. So, he's king of the hill, yep, Hank. I hope you make the changes because you are enjoying it for yourself and not for growing the channel. Same with a hobby, but what you love, not for investment. Oh yeah, what I'm doing, the reason I'm changing it, well, it is to grow the channel, but it's not to grow it to where so I'm big and famous or whatever. I am the type of person that I don't like to have the same thing for a long period of time. I like to change things, and I like the creativity. I like doing that. I always have. I've made videos since I was a teenager, since before there was YouTube. So I love just creating stuff, and I love the interaction, because when I make something that is really good to me, like my Veterans Day video, I worked on that thing for a long time. And I shared it with a lot of family. I shared it with Jason at Big Bear Homestead, and I shared it with them because I say, I want this to be perfect before I put it out. And everybody says, yes, that's great, put it out. And so I enjoy being able to entertain people. Yes, this is a hobby. Yes, this is a hobby. I have a full-time job. This is not something right now that is, eventually could it turn into a business? Yeah, I mean, eventually anything could. But really right now it's a hobby, and I'm investing in this, which means I'm investing in myself because I enjoy doing it. And in turn, I'm happy, which will be showed to you guys that I enjoy this so much that this makes me happy, and in turn I hope it makes you happy. And I hope to be able to give you guys different, scenes and different, not that you necessarily require it, but just that I want to do it for you. That's what I like. I like doing that kind of stuff. And that Veterans Day video, I worked on that for so long, and it was only like 3 minutes long, but I worked on it because I wanted it to be perfect, not only for our veterans, but because 2 pictures that was in that video was of my brother that served 2 tours in Iraq. And I take that very seriously. I take, regardless of whether or not you agree with the war, with the armed services, whatever, these people voluntarily signed up. Even if they were getting college money, whatever the case, it doesn't matter. They voluntarily signed up to potentially die for us, for me and for you. You can't take that lightly. No greater love hath a man than he that'll lay down his life for a friend. For somebody to voluntarily sign up, I wanted to do something great for them. A 3-minute video doesn't even come close to making up for what they did. But it was the best that I could do. And I want these things to be perfect, for what I consider perfect. So I'm not changing the content. You guys are still going to get the same old Wayne, the same old non-fancy Wayne, but I want to do things that, and I'm constantly going to be changing it. I'm constantly going to be doing different things as I grow. But anyway, there's that. So it is 7:56, which means it is time for the shameless plug. Don't forget to jump on over to Big Bear Homestead and visit thehomesteadnetwork.com. You can put your email address up at the top to be alerted for any scheduled changes. Go to the website also. Look at the show times. They're constantly moving things around, adding people. And, you guys have been great watching me. I haven't been there from the very beginning. But since I have joined, I have gotten a lot of great content from subscribers. I've gotten a lot of great interaction. I've met a lot of great people. I've made a lot of great friends off of YouTube. I really have. And this is a hobby, but it's also something that has brought me a lot of joy, a lot of friends, and has taught me a lot. I've learned a lot of great things from a lot of great people. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. This year has not been the greatest year in the world, but I've gotten through it, and now I actually will be able to put a lot more effort into my channel so that I can really give you guys the content you deserve. And that's basically where I'm coming from. I'm investing in my channel, which invests in my happiness, which in turn will show in my videos, and then will show you guys better quality, better videos, better scenery. To me, that's me. I don't know why, but I love scenery. I love I love heights. I mean, honestly, I'd go to space if it was possible because I love it. And I'm not just kidding. I'm not just saying that. I would literally go to space right now if somebody would offer it. Dead serious. So, imagine if I could take my camera to space and get you the view of the Earth. Oh man, that'd be fantastic. But anyway, I love giving you guys that kind of scenery. And to me, it's not just about showing you chickens or rabbits or whatever. I love being able to take you out and see what I see every day. Because a lot of people don't have that. They're not able to see that. A lot of people aren't even able to get out of their homes. So I like showing that to you. It's just, I don't know. That's just me. I'm different than everybody else. I don't want to run my channel like anybody else's. I want it to be my channel. I want it to be Wayne's Country Living. And so that way, space is fake. Okay, you're going to have to explain that one to me. Space is fake. Alright, so it is 7:59. Don't forget, jump on over to Big Bear Homestead. I'm sure Jason has something hilariously funny and interesting, like he always does. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, next week I will not have a live stream, but I will start over the week after. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.